Good morning, Unity of Music City. Today is the last Sunday of June, so we are going to enjoy it immensely. Welcome to the Sanctuary. We are the Sanctuary Band. That's Jackson. Who is this? Jackie! Jackson, Jackie, and Mary Grace. Jackie's sitting in with us today. So let's all stand up and sing a couple of songs. Get focused on having a great service today. Get our attention exactly where it needs to be. And we know, we're going to affirm right now that my soul is welcome here. Here we go. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and my soul is flying free. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I can be just what I'm meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time, and my soul is flying free. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just what I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I can be just what I'm meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm gonna sing about the love in my heart. I'm gonna sing about the love in my heart. I'm gonna sing about the love in my heart. I'm gonna sing about love and give God the glory. I'm gonna walk and talk and sing and pray, connect to the Holy Spirit every day. I'm gonna walk and talk and sing and shout, give God the glory. Let's take it up. I'm gonna sing about the joy in my heart. I'm gonna sing about the joy in my heart. I'm gonna sing about the joy in my heart. I'm gonna sing about joy and give God the glory. I'm gonna right, please be seated. You knew that.
It'll only take you about a year to remember that.
That's so sad. Mary Grace was like, don't forget the mic, like right before I sat down. Good morning, Unity of Music City.
Good morning.
Let's begin this portion of our service by taking a deep, centering breath. Today's centering statement is, in the silence, I can see the big picture. Could you know happiness without sadness? Is there love without pain? Dark without light? Could we understand masculine without feminine? It is true that everything has two sides, good and evil, love and hate, attraction and disconnection. Think of the north and south poles on a globe, or a battery with its negative and positive terminals. Everything in the universe has an opposite. Everything is dual. And this is what allows us to experience life to the fullest and appreciate the good in the world. It is the very existence of these opposites that allow us to understand our life. Following this truth, if you are happy, you have the potential to be sad. But if you are sad, you have the potential to be happy. The law of polarity gives us both extremes, but it is our thoughts and our mindset that determine which extreme we welcome into our worlds. By regularly reminding yourself of this, you can improve your resilience in troubled times. For every problem, there's a solution. For every obstacle, there's an opportunity. It is this knowing that gives birth to the new desires when manifesting. Every time you experience something you don't want, the law of polarity points out that the thing you do want exists, and it is just waiting to be manifested into your life. When we take time in the silence to reflect on our world, we can see what is working, what is not, and take steps to remove our energy from the thoughts, situations, and relationships that are no longer serving us. When we do this, we will steer our lives to the right and perfect path and open the potential to manifest everything our heart desires. Got it the second time. Now please repeat these affirming statements after me. I remove my energy from the thoughts, situations, and relationships that don't serve me.
I remove my energy from the thoughts, situations, and relationships that don't serve me.
I focus on the good in my life, and everything else falls away. I hold the key to my own happiness.
I hold the key to my own happiness.
And so it is.
Well, thank you so much for being here, everyone. I want to say a big welcome to those of you who are here with us for the first time. Unity of Music City is an affirming, interfaith, spiritual community, and we exist to love you and support you on your spiritual journey. Your spiritual journey is your spiritual journey. And if we can provide some tools to help you along that journey, well, we have done our jobs. We are a 100% volunteer-led community. Everything that we do comes from you. So whether it's the addition onto the building for new classrooms or buying the toilet paper, it all comes from you, and we appreciate you and love you so much for your support. On that note, there's a blue vase for your paper donations. There's a PayPal QR code, several different places around the building for your donations. But we always say that the ways that you can give back are threefold: through your time, your talents, and your treasures. So that's one part of it. So please figure out a way to give of your time and your talents, because they are much needed and much appreciated in this spiritual community. We are a vibrant spiritual community, and we're going to prove that by doing some announcements right now.
In the beginning, there were announcements. Hashtag announcements. Announcements and nothing but the announcements. Inside, I've got Gladys Knight and the Pips, just my, I really got to use my imagination.
Oh, I love
Keep
that song.
on keeping. Anyway, and express yourself. Okay, so, I couldn't, bring a lot of props because of time, but I got my little hat. So it's in my pocket, and there it'll stay. Announcements, here we go. Happy Sunday Unity and final day of June. Ready for a new month. Fresh times. Move, groove, and relax with the Happy Class. Coming up Thursday, July the 11th from 6:30 to 7:30. This class will feature cardio drumming, sequenced to a fun summer playlist, followed by aromatherapy, Reiki relaxation. Cost is only $20. Only 12 spots available, so please sign up at the bulletin board in the front room. So that's going to be exciting. Make plans to attend our coffee house and art show on Friday, July the 12th. That's the very next day. So after you drum, you can come and listen to some more things. Yeah, and enjoy, right? And move and groove some more. So that's going to be July the 12th to experience creativity and inspiration shared by our community. Bring a dish to share and take in the art show in the lobby starting at 6:30 p.m. Then you can sit back and enjoy the performances of music and reading starting at 7:30. There is still time to sign up. Deadlines for sign-ups and art submissions is Monday, July the 8th. Bring your art, so y'all get to doodling, get to creating, get to pasting, hot gluing, get everything ready. And bring it, or your dance, whatever it is that might inspire you, bring that to us, right? So it'd be cool if we had a video, like of somebody doing an expressive thing. That would be cool as well. Or live, that would be better. So, but the deadlines for sign up, please, Monday, July the 8th, and this is bring your art on Sunday, July 7th, if possible. Contact Valerie Dennison back here, and or Ryan Gill right here. And if you need more details, you can see these two wonderful individuals, inspiring in themselves. Community meeting, all right, that's Sunday, July the 14th. And that big blue, beautiful, love the comic thing there, community meeting. This is July the 14th following the service. Catch up upon our latest catch up on, I think mustard ketchup, all right, here we go. Catch up, space, on our latest developments, hear what's coming up, and share your suggestions. So again, that's July the 14th, and a great community meeting coming up. So all of these, do we need to update? Because there's some things after the little closing statement on Safe Paul update. Do we need to update that?
We talked about last week. Do you want her to cover that again?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Just read it, yeah.
All right. So, so anyway, but Sarah Esper, so see Sarah if you have questions. Sarah's back here, Save Paul update, and also, I didn't know what to mention, but it's on the website, I'm assuming, Sarah? Okay, so I need to read that.
Go ahead and read
Let me read that. So the update is a few weeks, Sarah and her family found a stray kitten in need of some urgent medical care. Sarah and the kids took the kitten into the vet. This kitten, who barely weighed 2 pounds, had 2 botflies embedded in its chin and neck. After receiving care, Sarah contacted Save Paul to find further support, only to find out Save Paul had no foster homes available. So Save Paul shared that if Sarah could find a foster home until the neuter appointment, which would be by the end of summer, they could get the animal fixed and then find an adoptive home. Through this amazing spiritual community, Sarah was able to connect with Amy and Candy, who agreed to foster the kitten. This fortunate kitten now has a hopeful future. So, yay, good story. And they might be home babysitting the kitten right now, taking care of the kitten. So, and I'm going to read the rest. This is where we need your help. Save Paul is currently in desperate need of foster home for cats and kittens. These foster homes provide care and socialization while waiting for a spay-neuter appointment prior to adoption. Save Paul will provide food and veterinary care for pets being fostered. Both adult cats and kittens are available to foster. And if you're interested in any or have any questions, please reach out to Sarah. So thank you so much for that kind-hearted, just wonderful project. So all activity or meeting links and contact numbers can be found on the website, weekly happenings, Google Calendar, or you know what? You can always email the church. Do it. We'll get you covered. So thank you so much. You guys have a phenomenal week.
All
Jackie,
right.
welcome
Yay.
on the drums.
I do want to say a special word of thanks for Jackie for sitting in with us. That she's just an amazing. She's such a talented and gifted person. She's got so many gifts, and it's like we discover a new one every week, right? Yeah, so we're happy to have her join us. Well, that does not surprise me. All right, it's time to sing again. All right, so this is the last day of the month, so this is the last time for a while that we'll sing Who's Given What to Whom. The monthly mantra that we do at this point in the service every month is a song that really exemplifies who we are as a spiritual community. And this song is about the law of giving and receiving. So I think this is the fourth or fifth time we've done it. You probably know it pretty well. You can sit, you can stand, however you want to do this. But let's start it now. I'm going to sing When You Give the first time around, and then we'll all come in on When We Give. When you give, when you receive, when you give, know that God is all there is. So who's given what to whom? When we give, who's given what to whom? When we receive, who is given what to whom? When we give, know that God is all there is. So who's given what to whom? Trusting in the law of circulation, knowing that it is as we believe. At the level of our faith, we release and make it so. At the level of our giving, we receive. When I give, who's given what to? When I receive, who's given what to whom? When I give, I know that God is all there is. So who's given what to whom? Trusting in the law of circulation, knowing that it is as we believe. At the level of our faith, we release and make it so. At the level of our giving, we receive. When we give, who's given what to whom? When we receive, who's given what to whom? When we give, know that God is all there is. So who's given what to whom? When we give, that God is all there is. So who's giving what? Who's giving what? Who's giving what to who?
I like that song. Good morning, everybody. Who's giving what to whom? At the level of our giving, we receive. I'm going to have that tattooed somewhere inside my eyelids so that I can remember at the level of my giving, I receive. I invite you to settle into this meditative portion of the service and get comfortable in your seat. Maybe take a couple of really deep cleansing breaths. There's something that is released with a good cleansing breath. Lower your shoulders. Send a silent message to your wrists and your ankles that they too can relax. Imagine yourself in a large bath. Water all around you. You feel weightless and supported. It's warm. It's fragrant. Maybe some lavender. And then at some point, you begin to understand on a cellular level that what you think is water is actually love. You are swimming in love. You are resting in love. You are floating in love. And it feels safe. It feels perfect. You've been here before in this realization. Perhaps someone helped you understand that you live in divine love. Maybe it was a Sunday school teacher when you were a kid. a friend who loaned you that one book that really spoke to you. Maybe it was Jesus, Buddha, a spiritual teacher, whoever or whatever it is that introduced you to divine love. I want you to surround them with this love in the silence, in the stillness. At the level of my giving, I receive. The love I know is equal to the love I show. The love I give to my spiritual guides, my teachers, must first begin with love for myself. Recognizing my own willingness to wake up, to see, to know the love that is all around me. And so what I give to myself is love. Love. Love that begins with forgiveness.
Tired of the guilt, it's bringing me pain. Now is the time for me to let go again. With the past behind me, I can see anew. I'm ready forgive change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive them. I forgive them. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I forgive me. I forgive me. Everything that I've been holding on to, I let go. I surrender. I surrender. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change. I'm ready for my change.
That song puts us in a kind of place, but I want you to step out of this place right now and show them some love for that right now. Yeah, that's all right, guys. That is all right. Jackie keeping it in the pocket there. Ryan's voice on that song. It's just one of those voices. And then Mary Grace comes in with those harmonies. It sounds so beautiful. And Jackson somehow drives an emotion with that bass. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's an emotion being driven up to a new level with that bass. I don't know. There's a musical term for that. I'm sure it's probably something, it's ecstasy in Latin or something like that. But at any rate, today we're starting a new series. I've been thinking about this series for a little while. It's on spiritual essentials. Today we're starting with messiahs, prophets, and master teachers. Hence the meditation that we did. The people who pointed us to divine love. The people who kind of shined the light for us the first time. And so why essentials? I could have said basics, fundamentals, spirituality 101, this kind of thing. I teach English 1010. That's 101 with another zero added to it. It's just the same thing, right? I teach English 1010, and the challenge is I'm there to teach the fundamentals, the basics of writing composition. And so the problem is that I have people of varying levels in there. I have some students who are ready to write a beautiful essay and just exit the class. I have others who are not ready for college. And so it's a challenge. And that the idea there is, well, let's start from the very beginning. But essentials is a little bit different because the essentials are the same no matter what level of journey you're on, right? It's kind of like if you've ever seen a professional baseball, I don't know that you've ever seen this, but imagine it, if you will. A professional baseball player, a home run hitter who's at batting practice, right? And maybe they're just not in the groove or whatever, and the batting coach says, remember the basics, remember your fundamentals, remember the essentials. Go back to the very beginning. Don't forget, because those essentials never change. For the little leaguer, for the home run hitter in the major leagues, the essentials are exactly the same, right? So we're going to talk about these essentials over the course of the next couple of weeks. Essential oils. I was thinking about this as I was writing this, and I thought, I wonder why they're called essential oils. So I looked it up. I Googled it. Why are essential oils called essential oils? Right there. And the answer that I got back was because the oil of the plant is said to capture the essence of the whole plant, right? So we're talking about essence. Of course, you know me, I had to look up the definition. And so essential can be a noun or an adjective. Anything indispensable, of the greatest importance, or vitally necessary. But I'm starting with messiahs, prophets, and master teachers. Are they indispensable? Are they vitally necessary? You know, most of the great wisdom traditions have a person around whom they're centered. Right? You got Buddha, you got Jesus, Muhammad, Moses, Abraham, Krishna, Shiva. You notice a trend here? Yeah, they're all men. Have you ever noticed that? Of course, there are a lot of traditions that have goddesses, but those are usually in polytheistic religions or monotheistic religions with a lot of avatars or saints. You can have a Saint Teresa, but she's over here, right? She's in a different category. Most of the matriarchal religions have their roots in prehistoric times, but in the last 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years, it's been pretty much patriarchy all the way. And because we're taught to focus on this person, whatever tradition we come up in, because we're taught to focus on this person, this man, they become central to our spiritual life. And so when we begin to question, or we deconstruct, or we're trying to figure out what is true with a capital T for us, we have to deal with that person, right? We have to deal with that person. So this is the Jesus that I was raised with. All of this, by the way, started with Ben's question last week in satsang. And when Ben asked me, he said, there's all these different Jesuses, right? There's this Jesus and that Jesus. Which Jesus do you hold in your heart? Well, this is the Jesus I was raised with, right? This is a painting called Head of Christ by Warner Salmon. It was painted in 1940. It's probably been reproduced more than just about any painting on the planet. If you were raised in a Christian, evangelical, or even, I don't know, the Catholics might have had the same picture. Catholic, Protestant, everybody had the same picture, this picture of Jesus. Very, very white, very prim and proper. They had to give him long hair because you can't have a short-haired Jesus. It's just impossible. But look at those lips. Look at those lips. That is a serious dude right there, right? That is prim and proper. Very prim and I was taught about this Jesus who was, as I was taught, the Son of God, the sacrificial Lamb of God, who came to earth for the sole purpose of dying a horrible death because I was such a horrible, unredeemable person, right? And so it was a transaction. I was taught transactional Jesus. Jesus' sacrifice on the cross was often talked about in terms of a purchase, right? The purchase of blood we would talk about when I was a kid. He purchased my soul with his death, and I'm forever in debt. I am forever in debt. So, young Deb, you'd better give your heart to Jesus or his death would have been in vain, and then you're doubly horrible. Right? You started off horrible, but then if you don't step into the transaction, you're doubly horrible. So you'd better do this. And for 2,000 years, a lot of folks have managed to guilt people into compliance in this manner, right? There's kind of a little exchange there. But is this really what Jesus was all about? Was he just the guy who came to pay the bill? So there's a spiritual teacher named Bashar, and he says this: Yeshua, or as you say, Jesus, really did not intend in any way, shape, or form to create followers. He intended to create leaders, equals. He did not intend to create Christians per se. He intended to let you all know you are Christ's. Amen. Amen. You are all the anointed one, right? You are all, you will do greater things than I have done, right? Jesus wasn't establishing a religion. Jesus wasn't a Christian, right? Buddha wasn't a Buddhist. So this past week, right? This past week, we had our summer spiritual series that began. Frank had set us up with Christy Robinson, who is a Zen Buddhist chaplain, to talk about Buddhism. And she told us that Siddhartha Gautama, who's known as the Buddha, right? Siddhartha Gautama, was never referred to as a Buddha in his lifetime. That's a later phrase. And that nothing was written about him for 500 years. Right? 500 years. These folks come along, these way showers, these spotlights come along, and after they're gone, the people who were moved by their teaching, who follow their teaching, build a religious framework around them, establish the rules, create the book, so that because other folks, the vast majority of people, aren't going to do the work. They're going to show up to whatever is culturally acceptable as the place of worship in their community, right? And they're going to say, who do I follow? Follow this guy. Okay. What do I do to follow this guy? Do these things. Okay. I'll do those things, right? And I don't think the Jesus that I read about and know that's not what he wanted out of people. He wanted people to wake up, be actively engaged in their own spiritual journey. In case this Bashar dude, anybody know about Bashar? Bashar is a channeled spiritual guide that comes through a guy named Alan, I think. Alan something. Huh? Daryl, Alan, Steve, Bob, I don't know, somebody. Just in case that's a little too far out there for you, just in case that is a bridge too far, let me give you some Chuck Swindoll. Jesus didn't come to earth to establish a new religion. He came to restore a broken relationship. I know, right? Blows your mind. If you don't know who Charles Swindoll is, let me just tell you, you weren't raised in my church. Because we grew up knowing about Chuck Swindoll, right? A nationally known preacher and author. Let me just tell you this. He's the founding pastor at Stonebriar Community Church in Frisco, Texas. And he's 89 years old, and just this May, he stepped down as the senior pastor and is now the founding pastor of that church, but there's a new senior pastor. So he has devoted his entire life. I've always had a great respect for him. He was one of those nationally known preachers who managed to not, he didn't want to stir stuff up. He wanted to reach into your heart. And I always had some respect for him, most of the time. You see, the people, the Jesuses, the Buddhas, the Muhammads, the people at the center of these religious institutions, the people worth listening to who had a message so central to the spiritual life that people flocked to it, those folks were all about the message and not about themselves. And I contend, I have a theory, I'm going to float it for you here and see, I'm going to work with it a little bit. I contend that the more fundamentalist a church or a religion is, the more they focus on the person, right? They focus on the person. Christians are going to focus on Jesus. Fundamentalist Muslims are going to focus on Muhammad, right? And there are fundamentalist Buddhists, by the way. There's all kinds of Buddhists. And they focus on the person and not the message. So Ben asked me last week, what Jesus do I look to? And for a long, long time in my own process, as I really, really, really wanted to know, I wanted to know God. right? I wanted to feel the divine in my life. And that process for a long time led me to not think about Jesus at all. Jesus was in the way. And here's one thing I really, really believe about Jesus. I believe that if Jesus, or the idea of Jesus, or the Jesus you were taught is in the way on your spiritual journey, Jesus would be the first one saying, forget about me. Forget about me right now. I'm partial to Jesus the mystic. That's the Jesus who points to the message. The message that the divine resides in me and you, the omnipresent divine. If the divine is omnipresent, it lives right here too. And all we have to do to become aware of this is to clear the space of anything else. In traditional unity, Jesus is often referred to as a master teacher. I like this idea because, first, it implies when we say a master teacher, there are others. There are a lot of master teachers. And second, it sends the focus to the message. A son of God is an heir to power. A master teacher is someone who has a message for you, a lesson for you, a truth for you. And in this sense, Jesus was one of several really important teachers, and of course, they're all essentially teaching the same thing. All of these messiahs, prophets, master teachers were acting as spotlights on the same truth. Imagine, if you will, an actor on the stage, and that actor has a soliloquy to give, right? They're going to deliver this long speech, to be or not to be. And all the lights go down except the spotlight on this actor. Well, you're never ever going to put just one spotlight on an actor, because you're going to have a side that's in the dark, right? So you're going to have at least 2, maybe 3, 17 lights, however many lights you need. But they're all shining on the same actor. And some of those lights are illuminating a side of the actor that another light cannot. There are things I learned about being a Christian from Buddhist teachers, right? Because they're illuminating all sides of this. I have a book that I've used before. It's called Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and Lao Tzu by Richard Hooper. And basically he's taken the parallel sayings of these teachers and compared them, right? He uses a lot of the canonical gospels and also the non-canonical, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary, things of that nature. And the only thing that's missing from that, I think, is Rumi, the Islamic voice, right? And so comparing their sayings is a little bit challenging. First off, Jesus' words were first written down about 45 years after his death, right? Krishna, in this instance, is considered the voice of Hinduism, but if you know anything about Hinduism, there ain't no one voice of Hinduism. But it is showing, it's using Krishna as the icon, the avatar for the words that show up in the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. By the way, I was doing the New York Times crossword last night, and the clue was 4 letters, Bhagavad blank. I was like, oh my gosh! I know this one. I was so excited, I screamed. Nikki was like, what? So anything that shows up in the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads, though Krishna's not the author of them per se, we're going to give him credit for that. Buddha never wrote anything. We don't have any sayings of Buddha, right? Nothing was written about him for about 500 years. Lao Tzu is considered the father of Taoism, author of the Tao Te Ching, but that's so ancient and fuzzy that the term actually means old master. Lao Tzu means old master. It may refer to a conglomeration of people. We don't really know. Rumi's the only one who actually wrote his stuff, and he's not considered the messiah of his religion, right? He's just a poet, just a mystic poet, but I think he's important enough. Nonetheless, with those limitations in mind, let's look at how these voices say essentially the same thing. Let's start with this idea of being made anew, born again, right? A new beginning. This is going to be kind of small. Hopefully you can read it, but I wanted to have everything on the same page. Jesus says, unless one is born anew, he cannot see the kingdom of God. Krishna says, even though born in truth, all things will die, but out of death comes life. Thus, one of the three main gods of Hinduism, Shiva, the god of destruction, the destroyer. Buddha says there must be a complete turning around of one's being at the deepest level of consciousness. Whew. That's one of the best description of being born again I've ever heard. Right? Lao Tzu says, achieve the state of a newborn child, clear and purify inner vision. And Rumi, who refers to God often as the beloved, borrow the beloved's eyes, look through them, and you'll see the beloved's face. Be born again. See brand new. Right? Be turned around in your consciousness. Do a 180, if you will. The second comparison I want to do is around this idea of the kingdom of heaven. Unless one is born anew, he cannot see the kingdom of heaven. What is the kingdom of heaven? What is this thing that I'm trying to achieve, accomplish, awaken to, be aware of? And Jesus says, the kingdom of heaven is within you and all around you, yet you do not see it. It's from the Gospel of Thomas. It's all around you. We talk about this all the time. The kingdom of heaven is here now. Krishna says, why should there be a reservoir when there is a flood everywhere? Oh, I love that so much. It kind of reminds me of, those times early on, if anybody's ever, if you're a meditator, then those days early on when you first were learning how to meditate, and it took you Ben and I were talking about this just this morning, it took you 45 minutes waiting for that one mosquito bite to stop itching. And then got to settle in, and finally there's this one split-second moment where you're like, oh, there it is. I'm weightless. Yeah. And the second you go, there it is, it's gone, right? You're like, oh, I'm there, and it's gone. And then we say, I got to get back there. I got to figure out, what can I do to get back? Stop. Don't worry about it. There's a flood everywhere. Let it go. It's okay. Maybe that's not your way, right? Should you meditate 2 minutes a day or 10 hours a day? Okay. What works for you? You know when you need more discipline, if you're honest with yourself, don't you? When we're honest with ourselves, we know when, I need to buckle down and meditate a little bit more. I feel that. Buddha, the way holds all things within itself, like the vastness of the universe. It lacks nothing, and nothing needs to be added to it. It's here now, omnipresent. Lao Tzu, the way is complete in itself. All blessings come from it, and it holds nothing back from anyone. Just because you only had one split second of a meditative feeling or a connection of oneness in 45 minutes of meditation, don't worry about it. The way holds nothing back from anyone. There's no transaction. You don't have to become worthy. You are loved. Rumi, you believe God looks at us from above, but he actually sees us from the inside. The kingdom of heaven is here. Is here. And then the third comparison I want us to look at is, how does that then reflect on how we treat others? We all know, you've probably seen it before, that every major wisdom tradition has a version of the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have others. This is a slightly different look at it. Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. To me, that is, if you learn nothing else about studying the life of Jesus except that right there, that's enough. Love your neighbor as yourself. Krishna says, recognizing what brings pleasure and pain to oneself, the true yogi treats others accordingly. Buddha says, seeing himself in others, this is that oneness we talk about all the time. Seeing himself in others, one who is in a higher state of consciousness feels compassion for all beings. This morning on the way to church, I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I passed on the interstate a little body of a puppy that had been hit. And it was physically painful to see it. And that internal, natural, organic response in my system was another indicator for me that I'm living in the heart of God. Because I naturally have compassion for all beings. Lao Tzu, nothing but good comes to him who loves others as he loves himself. I love the way that's put there. Nothing but good is going to come to you if you love others as you love yourself. Some people can say, well, what about I've loved people before and they really turned on me. You know what Mother Teresa says, right? Love them anyway. Whatever. Do you think they're the source of your good? They're not the one here to bring you good. They're not what's going to return to you. Rumi, your acts of kindness are iridescent wings of divine love which linger and continue to uplift others long after you're sharing. Isn't that beautiful? If I do nothing else but convince you to go buy the collected poetry of Rumi at the end of this, I have done my job. So these messages are essential, but is the person essential? What do we do with Jesus or Krishna or Buddha? Do we keep the message and toss them out? Here's a thought for you. Whatever person, creature, statue, icon, image, or idea shows you God, this can be a helpful point of focus in your practice. Whatever it is that leads you to understanding the divine love that you live in, right? Whatever it is. If there's a statue of Shiva on your home altar and it just does something for you, you're not sure why, great. You got a picture of Jesus, great. Every single one of those master teachers would say, that's fantastic. Whatever points you to the place I was pointing you to as well. That divine love, that understanding. I remember years ago when I first read Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth, and I think it was in the introduction where he talked about focusing on something like a flower or a crystal or a bird or a tree and just staring at it until you become one with it. He says this, look at a tree, a flower, a plant. Let your awareness rest upon it. How still they are. How deeply rooted in being. Allow nature to teach you stillness. How deeply rooted in being, not just existing, but connected to the source of all life, one with this energy and expressing this energy, deeply rooted in being. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, they were all trying to show the human version of what this flower already gets, that you are deeply rooted in the beingness of God. How to be one with that beingness. This flower doesn't know anything else but how to be one with this beingness. This flower does not know its name, and it does not care. It has no attachment to its identity. It has no attachment to anything. If you were able to ask this flower its name and it were able to answer you, I believe its answer would just be, I am. I just am, right? I am the I am. If you ever wish you could sit down and chat with Jesus, and that'd be a great moment, wouldn't it? If you could sit down and chat with Jesus, I recommend you find a field of daffodils or pansies or geraniums. I saw this on the internet this week, had no author attributed to it, so I can't tell you who said it, but I love it. It says this, my Creator spoke in flowers today. I was waiting on words, so I almost missed the conversation. Right? My Creator spoke in flowers today. I was waiting on words. Consider this. We often use the metaphor of a spiritual journey and imply that we are on a quest to find God. Of course, we know the omnipresent divine is around us all the time. But perhaps God is constantly trying to find us, constantly trying to get our attention, to make our awareness rest in God's divine reality. Sometimes God gets our attention with a Jesus or a Buddha, and sometimes with a flower or a dream, sometimes with a billboard or a fortune cookie or a life-changing event. What if the divine that we seek is right in front of us all the time, jumping up and down, going, I'm here. I'm right here. I'm right here in this relationship. I'm right here in this job. I'm right here in this traffic jam. I'm right here in this interaction. I'm right here in this moment. And I've got so many messages to send you. This is Oliver, the king of that box right there. Oliver is our cat. And every night after the dogs are put in their crates, it's like he's waiting. He's lying in wait. After the dogs are put in their crates, Nikki and I are laying there in bed, reading, playing on our iPads, doing whatever. Oliver comes along and gets on my chest. And he loves the feel of the blanket. And he likes to nurse for a little while. And most of the time, I'm kind of like holding my iPad around his back and doing like, okay, all right, I'll pet you, whatever. But every now and then, when I'm smart, I stop and I put the iPad down, I set everything aside, and everything is all about Oliver. And I can be so in communion with Oliver, scratching. He loves my fingernails on the top of his head and around his cheek, and I get under his chin, and he lifts his head up like this, and I go down his back, and that little shiver runs up his back. And after a while, it's not Oliver anymore and Mom. It's like it's two beings who are connecting, who are communing. You know that feeling? Yeah, we're just one right there. In that moment, Oliver is one of my spotlights. If Jesus is sitting at the right hand of God, Jesus is up there going, good job, Oliver. You learned well. Way to be a master teacher, right? Way to be a master teacher. One of my favorite Buddhist teachers, Adyashanti, says this: ever since I stepped out of imagination and into the heart of things, and that's what we're talking about, I've become so much less spiritual. Heaven, hell, and earth hold no meaning for me anymore. For I am neither coming nor going nor staying put. All I do is notice all the various ways that light weaves itself into dreams. When someone asks me who they are or what God is, I smile inside and whisper to the light, there you go again pretending. All around us. The light is all around us in every person that we meet, even those who are questioning, even those who are not sure. The kingdom of heaven is here, and all of these teachers taught stepping into the heart of things. They had no real interest in rules or doctrines or religions. Find me a moment where any of them had any interest in rules or doctrines or religions. They all wanted us to see the way the light weaves itself into our dream, the way the light weaves itself into the life that we live. I'm going to claim a place of privilege and share a poem with you that I wrote about 15 years ago that is on this very idea. It was shortly after reading A New Earth for the very first time. And I just wanted to share it with you because it speaks to the way that we can find master teachers in our life everywhere, right? Everywhere. It's called Meditation on a Rose. I watch you so long that I forget about time, so intently that I forget about space. I watch you until I forget what you are called. Eventually, I am no longer watching you. A watcher is separate, and I have become the suede of your petals, the sinew of your stalk, the sting of your thorn, the essence of your fragrance, the photosynthesis of your leaves. For a moment longer than time and smaller than a split atom, you and I are one. I encourage you this week to stop and notice all the ways God is getting your attention and to step into that moment with the divine. Namaste.
I just realized I've probably spent years of my life building a reservoir, when the reality is that the flood is all around me. That I have spent all of this time and all of this effort trying to put all of the abundance and all the blessings that I've been given into this container, like it could possibly hold it all, right? It could not possibly hold all of that goodness. So I think maybe we should just stop building it and just let it flow, right? Let's just flow downstream with it. That sounds like fun to me.
Containers keep more stuff out than they do keep stuff in.
Containers keep more stuff out than they do in. So who needs a reservoir, right? When you have all this abundance. That just takes us into this portion of the service that is all about gratitude, right? You know, we have so many blessings and so much to be thankful for. And so I'm going to say that what I'm going to be thankful for this week is being in touch with the little things, right? Finding God in the little things in life. This is a holiday week we've got coming up. Our country has a birthday, and we're going to celebrate this great country that we live in, that we have been given, that has been provided to us, all of the blessings that this country gives to us, and there's a lot of them. So that's what I'm thankful for going forward this week. Anybody else want to say what they're thankful for this week? What are we grateful for? Ben.
It doesn't care about your beliefs. I was talking to my most fundamental brother yesterday about financial flows. And I talked to him about surrender, like surrendering to the divine, surrendering to God. And I just felt like we had a connection that he was honestly kind of resistant to. But we both felt it. And I think that we need to see that in each other, that we're all spiritually connected.
Yeah, grateful for spiritual connection. You know what? If we show up and put in the work, God will take care of the rest. Anybody, anything else? What are we grateful for? Grateful for the unconditional love of a puppy. I know that feeling. Yeah. Anybody, anything? Julie?
I'm going to go against the grain, but I know it's tough for some people, but I love humidity and I love the heat. We've been waiting for
It's all right. It's all right.
So we've been waiting for the warmth and just in the garden center seeing the plants thrive and seeing, they get hydrated so they can withstand, but just to see them thrive in this humidity and the tropical plants and feeling the sweat and the toxins released. I mean, a lot of toxins this week, but just as far as getting released, it's great because you feel alive. You feel alive that way. You're out there sweating and working, and those of you working in your gardens, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, you just feel alive doing that. At least that's what makes me feel wonderful. And to see other people coming into the garden center, whatever the temperature, they're there, and they're going to get those plants, and they're going to take them home as well and foster those plants as well as a young, puppy and whatnot.
I love this community because when we came in this morning, Susan said she was grateful for the air conditioning. And now Julie's saying she's grateful for the heat and the humidity. You know what? We're grateful for it all, aren't we? That's right. Right. Carolyn?
As most of us are, I'm grateful for the bounty and beauty of nature, from all of the wonderful fresh veggies we get
Oh.
this time of year, to the little hornbeam caterpillar that was on my plan and I'm gonna let eat its share, to about a dozen June bugs flying around in my yard today. I hadn't seen that many since I was a kid.
Grateful for the nature of summer. Yeah. Anybody?
I feel grateful for having decided to come here.
Grateful for deciding to come to Unity of Music City today. Yes, we are grateful to have you too.
I'm Susie, and I just moved to Nashville a month ago.
Oh, hey, Susie.
Thankful and grateful that I found this community, and I know Annette from Kansas City, and so here we are.
My goodness.
Just in time for me to move back there.
Welcome, 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 and you are welcome to come back anytime. Absolutely. All right, well, let's sing about our gratitude. We're going to sing I Am Grateful. I am grateful for another day of living. Grateful for a new chance to forgive. I'm grateful to receive life's many blessings. And I'm grateful for the love I have to give. I am grateful for another day of living. Grateful for a new chance to forgive. Grateful to receive life's many blessings. And I'm grateful for the love I have to give. Yes, I'm grateful for the love I have to give. All right, I want to remind everybody to check the What's Happening newsletter that comes in your email. If you haven't signed up for it, you can sign up for it there in the vestibule. Boy, I went back to my Baptist roots, didn't I? Out in the front room. You can go to unityofmusiccity.org and sign up for the newsletter there. Also, comes out on Tuesdays and tells you what's going on, so be sure and check that this week. And let's stand up together and let's say the prayer for protection. Here we go. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and we let it be. We let the love wash over us. We let over us. We let it be. We let the love wash over us. Watch me. We let it be. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great holiday week, and we'll see you back next Sunday.